I'm back in Perth. Hashtag Perth in Perth. I kid. It's not my real name, it's just my stage name, long story. I'm from Perth, Western Australia, which is kind of where I got the name and also this accent from. So right now, I'm back in Perth, which is kind of becoming an annual thing for me, although I would like to be back for Christmas, so maybe if I'm lucky, I could make the trip back again. But I'm in Perth, I'm here to see family, catch up with friends, and just relax and have a good time. Mostly reliving the old days, because every time I come back to Perth, I don't usually get up to a lot of new stuff. Although this time I do have some fun stuff planned. Going to see more of what WA has to offer, because when I left Perth, I was 19, so I didn't really have a chance to see that much. I didn't have a driver's license. Still don't have a driver's license, so it wouldn't have made a difference. But it's funny coming back to Perth because I came from Tokyo, Japan, and right now it's summer in Japan, and it's not just your everyday summer. It's nasty, it's pretty rough, the humidity is disgusting, and it's just really, really hot. Not my type of weather. And then I came back to Perth, and then I was expecting it to be a little bit warm because it's supposed to be the start of spring, but the seasons seem to be kind of late. Like they start late and end late, and it is cold, like surprisingly cold, like 15, 16 degrees. Western Australia is not particularly humid. I know other places like Queensland are more tropical and humid, but where I come from in Perth, it's not humid. It's actually quite dry. Even in winter, it's like a dry cold. Summer is like a dry hot. And when I lived in Australia, I didn't have an issue, but since I moved abroad, every time I come back to Australia and there's a sudden change in temperature and humidity, my skin does not seem to like it very much. So it's kind of hard to see, but actually, no, it's not. I don't know why I said it's kind of hard to see, but anyway, my skin's gone through some issues, so I'm getting like some pimples like on my cheek here. So now when I come back, I try to do my best to make sure I'm super duper moisturized. I wasn't really planning for this type of cold weather. It's a lot colder than I thought, and also in Japan, all my winter clothes are kind of in storage now, so I couldn't just like pull them out and put them in my suitcase. So I took this chance to do a little bit of retail therapy. And I got this really cute kind of like sweater jumper thing from Patagonia. Look how cute it is. So I've been wearing the sheet out of these. Love it. And it's pretty much done the job. Sometimes in the middle of the night it gets like really cold, but other than that, no, it's pretty good. But also a kind of cool thing is like, because winter is just finishing in Perth, now all the winter clothes are on sale, and it's gonna be winter in Japan in like 2 months. So I get new winter clothes for cheap and I get to wear them for like 3 to 4 months non-stop. So cost effectiveness, 123%. That was a bad number. 120%. Not bad. So right now I'm staying really close to the beach. Let me show you what the view is like. If you've been following my vlogs for a while, you might have seen this place before. Let's go get some morning coffee. Alright, so morning ritual is done. Had the morning coffee. Was delicious as always. I mean, obviously, everywhere in the world has lovely coffee. Like when I lived in Bangkok, there was great coffee around the place. Also in Japan, lots of lovely coffee. But maybe I'm biased, but I do think Australia has the nicest coffee. So good, can't get enough of drinking like at least 1 cup a day, sometimes multiple. It's kind of weird like when I'm back to Perth. Like when I'm living abroad, I do eat an okay amount of food, but I guess it's like because it's the food I grew up with. Man, I've been eating a lot of food and not a lot of it has been healthy, but I haven't really been worrying about it too much. Like yes, I have mentioned in a few places I have been wanting to start a diet, get lean. If you watch my gym clothes trial, I did mention that I was trying to get lean, but I just want to enjoy my time, so I've just been eating whatever the hell I want. And unfortunately, as a result, skin looking a little bit rough. It's all about meeting up with loved ones, reliving the good times. So right now I'm about to go head out, meet up with my bestest friend. If you've seen my video, I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago when I went back to Perth, hang out with my best friend. We're gonna meet up with him again today. We're gonna go and see a movie. And actually the cinema that we're going to, I've never been to before. It's a new place, it's like right in the middle of the city. So decided to go check it out and have a good time with my friend. Alright, so we just arrived at the cinema, and today the movie we're going to see is... Focus... We're seeing Weapons. So I've been wanting to see this for the past couple months, and luckily it's still in the cinemas right now in Australia. So me and my friend, we spent a lot of our youths watching horror/scary movies together. And you know, there was a varying quality of the movies that we watched. Like obviously watched like Nightmare on Elm Street, Jeepers Creepers were like some of our favorites. And then when we couldn't find like a good one to watch, we just like picked some random stuff from the horror section. A lot of it turned out to be crap, but that's also horror. So we're gonna go in, watch, I think it's like a 2.5 hour movie. So when we come out, I'll tell you what we think. I am really excited to watch this one in particular, just because I'm a fan of the director's previous movie, The Barbarian, and also the reviews for this have been sick. Now, one thing about movie reviews and just reviews in general for games and stuff is that, you know, I take them with a grain of salt. I do like to decide for myself, not whether something's good or not, but whether I enjoy it or not. Because, you know, the most important thing is like whether you enjoy it. It doesn't really matter if something's bad. Like Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones isn't the greatest movie of all time, but for me, it's still pretty fun. That being said, I do still like to check out the reviews of things, and the reviews for Weapons has been absolutely fantastic, so I can't wait to watch it. Obviously guys, can't take the camera inside the cinema because that would be a crime against humanity, but mostly just the cinema and the copyright laws of the movie. So I'll see you in around 2.5 hours when we're finished. Something else popped into my mind, so I was actually considering not getting a drink today because, you know, especially in Australia, food and drinks at the cinema are super pricey, and also I didn't want to have to go pee-pee while the movie was on. I saw something that I haven't had for the longest time. It's something that I've missed when I've gone to the cinemas in Thailand and in Japan, and that is a special drink of choice of mine, and I used to get it almost every time I went to go see a movie in Japan. And right now, Peach is going to buy it because I got the tickets, he's getting the drinks. Cheers, bro. Anyway, it used to be in a clear cup. It's not in a clear cup anymore, but you can kind of see this shit sticking out the top. It's a frozen Coke. Dude, it's like crack, dude. It's so good. Not that I've had crack. Alright, movie time. We are finally back from watching Weapons. So now, we're going to tell you what we thought about the movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was pretty sick. I would definitely recommend other people to watch it, for sure. It's not like, I'm not on the fence at all about it being like good or bad. It was definitely good. It was
agreed.
Very good.
Agreed.
It's just that I saw like so many people saying like, it's like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And then when people saying it was a masterpiece, because it's being marketed and labeled as a horror movie, I was like, oh shit. By the way, this is spoiler free for everybody. But like, it had like some good jump scares, a few gruesome elements.
Yeah, creepy visuals.
Yeah, actually a few parts I was like,
yeah.
But I don't know if it was horror. How would you describe the genre?
I mean, you have to call it horror because it's not a thriller. Because, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but there's elements of it that are for sure horror. There's elements that are comedy.
That's the thing. Even though it has horror parts in it, it blends like horror and comedy, which is a really weird thing to say. But I was legit laughing out loud at a few parts of the movie. The narrative structure of the movie was really cool. Yeah. It's not just like straightforward. It's like a lot of people's...
their stories, their point of view.
Yeah, of the same time. Events. Of the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Of different events. So that was really cool. I like that. That made it fun to watch. It's kind of like Reservoir Dogs, in a way.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, for sure. The acting was good.
Oh, the acting was insane.
The music was almost the best part of the whole thing.
Music was... Dude, I was actually sitting there, and I don't like to move a lot when I'm listening to music, but even I was like...
Yeah.
In a horror movie, like I was like...
Sure. And also the music was like really different. Like the score changed a lot. It wasn't like, oh, you know, like the movie It Follows, it's like all 80s synth. It wasn't like that. It was like, it changed up a lot. You know, orchestral score and then like kind of techno sounding stuff. And yeah, that was really good. The movie's not overhyped, but in some way I felt not let down. Like I thought it was gonna go bigger and crazier than it did.
Without being spoilery, I think it was like very contained. I think that's a really tough thing to do, is to market a movie so that people going in to watch it have realistic expectations, not of just the genre, but of like their experience. Because when you have a different expectation, even if what you watched was good, because it's different from what you thought it was going to be, it takes a while to process to be what did I just watch? And Hey guys, this is Perth from the future. We actually ended up discussing this video for around 20 minutes, but for this video I edited it down to just to around 3 or 4. But if you want to see the full unedited 20-minute full discussion, including spoilers, I've uploaded it over on my Patreon page. There's also some other bonus content, including me and my friend opening some cards together, which I didn't include in the video. So if you're interested, please come and check it out over on Patreon.
What did you not like? Anything you didn't like?
The ending was very abrupt.
Yeah, agreed.
Like the final 30 seconds was really abrupt.
Agreed, yeah. It's almost like it's not paced well, but it is. It's fine.
It's intentional. It's totally intentional.
For
It's
sure.
not bad pacing, and I like it when directors, they're putting their own flavor. That's how you want to end it. Okay, let's just say they extended it.
Yep, for sure. What happens? Yeah,
Okay,
agreed.
so you show us to give us more
Agreed.
closure, but
Yeah,
it's like
no.
you don't need it. You don't need it.
Absolutely.
So this is not my criticism of like the movie, but it's more like just of my personal taste. Little bit more scare and tension.
Agreed, for sure. Yeah.
Especially towards the end, have it more drawn out, the scary part.
Yes.
Because it would transition between scary and funny like quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like I would watch it again.
Yep.
For sure. Not in the cinemas, but I would watch it again, and it's still got me thinking about it afterwards.
Same.
Like looking up theories and interpretations.
Yep.
And if someone asked me whether they should watch it, I would be like, yeah.
There was like a couple of frames that were really barbaric, but the things he chose to use as weapons or the way people got hurt in certain moments was quite original.
It's very original.
Yeah, it was.
Apart from a few homages to other scary films.
But they were almost, if you don't know those homages,
exactly.
you're not going to understand anyway. So.
And they weren't in your face. It was just like,
No, they were cool.
Nah, dude, it was sick. All right, and that is our thoughts on Weapons. Go and check it out. It is a really good movie. Even if you don't see it in the cinemas, go and check it out like whenever it comes to streaming, because once it's out of the cinemas, it'll be on streaming in like a week or two. But yeah, just a heads up, a few jump scares, some nasty gore at some places, but some good comedy in there. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, go see it. It's been about 10, almost 11 years living abroad, and I've been lucky enough to be able to come back to Perth a few times. I think I've been back to Perth in total since moving away, I don't know, around 6 or 7 times, and honestly, every time that I come back to Perth, I always have very mixed feelings about everything, just because it's my home, but I've kind of like decided to pursue a career in other countries, and then to be honest, like, it's not like there aren't like acting roles and stuff going on in Australia, but I think particularly in Perth, there's not a huge entertainment scene. Obviously there's a lot of news channels and stuff like that, but not a lot of like TV stuff going on or movies. So anyway, every time I come back, obviously huge feelings of nostalgia, and I am a sucker for nostalgia. Every time I come back, I just want to go to all the old places where I used to hang out. Like, I grew up in a part of Perth called North Perth. It's a suburb in Perth. It's a very nice area, if I do say so myself. I am very biased, but I think objectively it's a very nice place, and I just go there, I hang out with my old friends, kind of eat the same old food, but there's a lot of new cafes, a lot of trendy, cool cafes have popped up since I've come back, and obviously coming back to have some Australian coffee is really nice. And so it's strange because I miss being here, but then coming back always kind of felt very isolated, because obviously Perth is a very isolated city. It's actually the most isolated city in the world, meaning that it's like the furthest place on earth from every other city. And even in Australia, if you wanted to go visit like Melbourne or Sydney, it's like a 5 or 6 hour flight or something just to get to those cities. So it is very isolated. And so like there's always a part of me that like obviously thinks about what my life would have been like if I never moved away from Perth, because I love spending time with my friends. Kind of a weird thing to say, but I don't really have like a lot of friends. Like I have a lot of friends, but like best, like really true, this sounds so cringy, but just like people who I would really like sacrifice and go out my way to do things for, I have very few, and a lot of my friends are people who I grew up with, even though like we don't stay in touch all the time because, you know, dudes gonna be dudes. But anyway, like I always do get kind of like emotional about thinking about the lost time that I could have spent with like all my friends in Perth and my life in Perth and stuff like that. But, you know, on the flip side, I was able to move abroad, you know, learn some languages and pursue a career that honestly I probably never ever would have thought about doing if I still lived in Perth. Like I was interested in the dramatic arts, but I was too shy to do anything about it until like I was like pushed into a position where I had to do it. It's not also just friends. All of my extended family also lives in Perth. You know, my dad, aunties, uncles, cousins and all that. And, you know, everyone's getting older. And I do want to also spend some quality time with my family. So with all that being said, I've really felt that this particular trip, this time coming back to Perth has felt very different. I don't know why, but I just feel a lot more appreciative. And I feel like I'm just seeing a lot of things from a new perspective for the first time, because obviously growing up here, everything that we have, like, you know, these beautiful beaches, wide open spaces, parks and stuff like that, this kind of chill lifestyle is all you know. So I wouldn't say you take it for granted, but you kind of like don't realize like how good you have it. And now that I've spent some time overseas and then seen, you know, not trying to shart on, you know, any other country's beaches. Like Thailand has nice beaches, but also some shitty areas. I have yet to go to like Okinawa in Japan, so I haven't seen the most beautiful beaches that Japan has to offer. But dude, I ain't here to like, you know, just brag about my hometown, my home state, but pretty much you can go to any beach in Western Australia and it looks like really nice. But that was like normal for me growing up. And also when I moved away from Perth, I was 19. So like I had just become an adult and I didn't really, you know, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a driver's license, so I wasn't really like taking the opportunity to explore a lot of what Perth and WA has to offer. And I had opportunity to do that this time, so I've been going on a few tours and going out and seeing some different places with friends, and holy shit dude, it's crazy. Like the beaches, I went to this place called Lancelin, which is famous for these beautiful white sand dunes. I posted some photos on Instagram, and I went like sandboarding down the dunes as well. That was really cool. Went down to Fremantle markets. Man, it's just like there's so many awesome places available to you in a very small proximity. Like most places like are like a 20 to 30 minute drive depending from where you live, but like you really do need a car in Perth. I mean, there is nice public transport available, but you just don't have the freedom to move around when you want to if you're relying on public transport all the time. So like every time that I've come back to Perth up until now, I've kind of been like, this is nice to just come back and take a break and then go back to, you know, Thailand or go back to Japan and go back to like my everyday working life. But this particular trip, I really kind of like could see myself definitely moving back sometime in the near-ish future. I think right now, you know, because I'm pursuing a career kind of like in entertainment, and I do want to keep doing that right now, at least for the next few years. But I think especially for family life, man, like Perth is really awesome. So I think maybe in the future at some point, if your boy sows his seed and produces offspring of the highest caliber, then maybe you know, it would be really cool to have a place, you know, in my hometown of Perth, and hashtag Perth and Perth. But yeah, just maybe live a life here, definitely. But yeah, I've one really thing that's just a lot different from Tokyo and Perth. I mean, obviously Tokyo in Japan is like a metropolis. Tokyo has 10 times at least the population of Perth. But with Tokyo, when you're just like looking down the streets and you're like looking at about town, everything is so vertical, like all the kind of like skylines and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how to say it, like the views are vertical, like all the buildings are going up and you're looking like this. But Perth, and I guess Australians in general, really love open spaces, and everyone likes to have a lot of freedom. Especially like when you look at people's houses and stuff, you know, everyone's got like gardens, some people have swimming pools and all that kind of thing. Everything is like not going up, it's going side to side. So like when you're walking down the street, like you just get a wide, beautiful view of everything, and it's just amazing. But like in Tokyo, while it also does look very cool, like I'm not saying one is like better than the other, it's just so different. And you know, it kind of like takes being removed from here and then coming back to realize, oh man, like this is pretty damn nice. The sun is so bright, the UV rays are so strong in Australia. Like, it's actually, for me especially, quite a struggle to go out and about without some sunglasses on. And these aren't like the most protective sunglasses in existence, because obviously you can see through it, but they do have like some decent UV protection. But you know, you're like, you're allowed to act cool, it's your job. Like, I get it. But I just that's another thing about like coming back to Australia, is like, probably has everything to do with being Australian. I think it's just my personality type. I don't like to stick out too much. I don't like to feel like, I don't know, like I'm like trying to like get too dressed up. They're just sunglasses, but I don't know, I'm just getting in my own head and having a good time doing it. No, I'm just joking, it's stressful. But coming back this time, I just felt like extra emotional, but in a good way. I've just really, this is going to sound very silly and cliche, I wouldn't say I have like fallen in love with Perth again or anything like that, but I just feel, maybe it's because I'm 31, and hey, I know I don't look it, but your boy is 31 now. But according to everyone at all the bottle shops in Perth, I don't look 31. I look like, I don't know, way younger, because every time, not that I've been like hitting the booze particularly hard, but anytime I go anywhere and like buy any alcohol or anything like that, being involved in like the entertainment industry, it's always great to look younger than you do. And I guess it's a compliment, but I was kind of like, but I'm 31. And I don't want it to be my fault that like no one can get drinks or anything like that. But I went into this one shop, and the security guard was like, can I get some ID, mate? My friend was like, he's 31. And then the guy was like, oh, okay. And then we went in, I carried like, we carried like the drinks like up to the counter to go buy them. The guy was like, oh mate, can I get some ID? And I was like, oh dude, like I understand, like this is like, you got to do your job. And I understand, like, yeah, like I look kind of young, but I don't have my ID. Anyway, the guy was cool. I didn't have to buy any of my friends to support because they had their ID. But then like, as we left the store, the security guard was like, dude, grow a beard. I was like, I can't, because I don't know if you guys know, unfortunately, well not unfortunately, but I chose to do it, but I actually got my beard removed via laser, just because like I just like the clean look, and I can't grow a beard anymore. And you know, one thing is like, a lot of people have beards. I guess like maybe it's a sign of like adulthood. Beards are very, very popular, and I don't got one no more, so I guess I'll just be eternally not 31. Not that I was going to be 31 forever anyway, because you know, I got to grow up at some point. But anyway, this is your not 31-year-old Perth signing out. That was my brother like trying to peep in. I just signed off from that part of the video, and then I just remembered something that I forgot to mention. It always happens every time you finish shooting something, like, damn, I was going to say this and I forgot. But luckily I remember just in time. But another thing about Perth is that I love dogs. I am a dog lover. Some people even say I have many dog-like qualities, including sniffing things and people, and just being in a generally good mood all the time. But another thing about Australia, there's so many parks and so many like lovely open spaces to play with your dogs. Obviously, I don't have a dog. I do want to get one, but you know, living in Tokyo, Japan is pretty tough. It's not the best place to raise a dog, especially a large one. And I love me big dogs. I really want to get a Labrador at some point in time. So that's another kind of contributing factor to me really being envious and appreciative of the life in Perth, because man, so many people going on walks with their dogs, and I just want to pat them all. And you know, one thing about dogs, it's kind of funny because I think like the dogs in Japan are kind of like more reflective like of their owners' personalities. Not that people in Japan aren't friendly, people in Japan are friendly, but I think like Japanese dogs aren't as approaching as dogs in Australia. Like, because a lot of people will like, you know, leave their dogs in front of like supermarkets and stuff when they go inside for shopping, and I just have a field day, dude. I'm always like going up to them like, hi little doggy, like while they're waiting for their owner and stuff. And yeah, dogs are very, very friendly in Perth. And also, you know, the owners are like cool with people coming up and pet their dogs, whereas in Japan, I think people like a little bit just like, they're not like, don't touch my dog, but like, am I allowed to do that in an Asian accent? Don't touch my dog. No, they don't talk like that, but I think people are a little bit like, you know, a bit cautious, especially like they're a bit more like generous to people who don't like dogs. I think they're being more considerate, whereas people in Australia just like don't give a shit. Anyway, just a little thing I wanted to mention before I forgot. So this is me signing off for the second time.